Mr. Trash Wheel is gobbling up garbage in Baltimore, Maryland, winning hearts and minds and making a real impact on a community that was once plagued by garbage flowing into the Baltimore harbor. You may have heard of him or her or Captain Trash Wheel. Maybe you've seen one on Twitter or taken a selfie next to one in person. Trash wheel interceptors are working day and night, 24/7 to clean up garbage that's floating down waterways, which eventually empty out into the ocean. Mr. Trash Wheel was first installed in Baltimore's beautiful Jones Falls stream in 2014. Since its installation, it has intercepted over 3 million pounds of trash. I'd call that a great success, and it's all the brainchild of an inventor named John Kellet, who is the creator of the original Mr. Trash Wheel and the founder of Clearwater Mills in Baltimore, Maryland.
With our good friend John. Hi, John.
John saw a problem in Baltimore that was affecting the environment, the wildlife, local businesses, and the aesthetic beauty of the incredible Baltimore harbor. He literally drew up his idea on a napkin, made a small working prototype, and then set the wheel in motion, making it a reality.
Morning, John.
Good morning.
No way a million people are going to see this, don't worry.
And it has had a major impact on the city of Baltimore and will soon be helping clean other cities and other countries around the globe.
So I worked on Baltimore Harbor for about 20 years, and on a daily basis, I was confronted with trash in the harbor. Baltimore has a beautiful harbor, but it has been impacted negatively by the trash. And it didn't take a lot of investigation to realize the trash is not coming from people walking around the harbor and throwing their trash into the harbor. It comes from the land sources, and it gets washed by the storm water down the storm drains and into the creeks, and then into the main river that feeds the inner harbor. Eventually, all that trash makes it into the Atlantic Ocean. I would cross the footbridge on the promenade across the main river that feeds the inner harbor and see the trash is flowing into the harbor. And I said, you know, there should be a way to stop this trash before it spreads out. The mouth of the river seemed like the logical place to do it. And I did some research to see if there was anything out there that could tackle that job. And I came up with nothing. So I said, well, maybe I should give it a try.
The trash wheel employs a simple technology using a water mill, which is turned by the flowing river, and powers a system of pulleys, which pull a conveyor belt, and an array of rakes, which help scoop the floating debris onto the trash wheel, which is then emptied into a large dumpster inside Mr. Trash Wheel. The dumpsters are easily removed and emptied by a small crew as they get full.
We got a fresh, clean, empty dumpster over there.
The trash wheels are outfitted with solar panels, which store power inside batteries on board Mr. Trash Wheel for times when the river might not be flowing fast enough to turn the water wheel. John is able to switch on pumps remotely from his smartphone, which will then pump water onto the water wheel so it never stops turning and gobbling garbage. Mr. Trash Wheel also has an internet connection, so John could see what's going on in the trash wheel via webcam and take any action if needed. John Kellet reached out to the city of Baltimore, who was open to ideas on how to combat trash flowing into the harbor, and eventually partnered with a nonprofit called the Able Foundation, who put up the money to develop and refine the trash wheel concept. After much trial and error, the trash wheel was eventually manufactured and deployed into Baltimore's harbor. Once Mr. Trash Wheel was operational, local businesses and community leaders noticed an immediate difference in the pollution flowing into the harbor and took action to make Mr. Trash Wheel a permanent fixture. The Waterfront Partnership for Baltimore then got involved and began a campaign to produce more trash wheels and install them in more parts of Maryland as part of their Healthy Harbor initiative.
So please join me and the crew of Clearwater Mills in welcoming Gwenda, the Good Wheel of the West. Mr. Trash Wheel has impacted the Baltimore Harbor in ways that we never imagined. Mr. Trash Wheel has picked up over 1,600 tons of trash and debris from the Baltimore Harbor over the last 7 years. If you go to MrTrashWheel.com, you can actually download a spreadsheet of every dumpster we've pulled out of the harbor over the past 7 years with an estimate of different types of trash that were in that dumpster. So we know, for example, that we've pulled out over 1 million styrofoam containers from the Baltimore Harbor. And that's the sort of information, data, and photos that we share with our elected officials to let them know just how big of a problem this is.
John Kellet's original idea derived from a hay baler you find on a farm. Growing up on a farm as a kid, his original idea was to have some type of machine that can go around picking up the garbage out of the water and disposing of it. But after much research and development, he settled on a concept based on the old industrial tools used for hundreds of years in large cities like Baltimore, using water wheel technology. Water mills powered Baltimore's industry for decades, providing power to textile mills, lumber yards, and helping to build up massive industrial cities over time. Mr. Trash Wheel and its cousin trash wheels resemble a large steamboat with a large water wheel constantly turning and directing trash onto the conveyor belt. And that's not all they resemble. The Waterfront Partnership for Baltimore gave Mr. Trash Wheel a persona, adding a name and a cute face with large googly eyes. Mr. Trash Wheel has an online media presence to increase the Trash Wheel's profile, and now people come from all over the place to visit Mr. Trash Wheel, take selfies, and help spread the word of maintaining a clean and sustainable environment. From the looks of Mr. Trash Wheel's Twitter page, he is very popular among the locals and has spawned a small industry around his likeness, with t-shirts, group cleanup events, and even a local beer. Mr. Trash Wheel has some relatives, including Professor Trash Wheel, Captain Trash Wheel, and Gwenda the Good Wheel of the West, all of whom have their own likes and dislikes on their public profiles online. The Trash Wheels have a reputation for being able to gobble up larger pieces of trash, like a guitar, a full-size beer keg, and on one occasion a ball python who escaped from its owner and made a home for itself on the warm battery casing of one of the trash wheels. The trash wheels do not harm animals and instead are kind of a refuge for creatures looking for a safe place to nest, like this duck who laid eggs underneath the conveyor belt, and for fish who enjoy the oxygenated water as the wheel turns in the river. John Kellet is extremely proud of what he's been able to do for the community, as he should be, and he's also blown away at how this idea has evolved over time.
I never envisioned that we would have googly eyes on this machine with and a name for it, and a beer, and a Trash Wheel t-shirts, and a Trash Wheel fan club, and a Trash Wheel fan fest, and it's kind of beyond my wildest dreams with what's happened in Baltimore with it. And it's not just Baltimore, it has a following all over. People come from miles away to come see Mr. Trash Wheel. Never would I have imagined that. So I'm kind of still regularly sort of, scratching my head saying, I can't believe this little idea that I came up with on a napkin has had this sort of impact. But I'm very pleased that it has.
If you are a city leader or official, you can adopt your own trash wheel at MrTrashWheel.com and reap the benefits of a cleaner, more sparkling city harbor, which I'm sure local business owners and residents will appreciate. The trash wheels are not the solution, however. They're just a small band-aid on a plastic pollution crisis that is plaguing our world. It will take education, lifestyle changes, and a major shift in the plastic producing industry to really turn this issue around. If you like this video, give us a like and ring that bell for more videos from CNET's YouTube channel, and check out our related videos on sustainability and cleaning technologies, and you can find links to Mr. Trash Wheel's website and Twitter feed in the description. Thanks for watching.
Trash Wheel, Mr. Trash Wheel, Mr. Trash Wheel.